Hello again. I wanted to give a few more pointers about how to work ribbing on double pointed needles. Now, if you set your project down and you pick it back up again, you might get confused about where to start knitting again, because it would be easy to knit like this or to knit like this. There's all kinds of ways that the needles look like they're right. So what you have to do is look where the yarn is coming from. So if you see here, the yarn is coming from that spot. That's the last stitch that was worked. And since we're working in the round, the next spot you'll be going to is right on the next needle. So that's where you'll have to take the yarn back and start knitting right there. So that's one tip. So that way if you set it down and you get confused about where you're starting from, you'll know where. Another thing to notice about working ribbing is that with this design you are knitting the knits and purling the purls. And lots of people get confused when you have to do that. They don't understand what that means when it says knit the knits and purl the purls. But in ribbing, that's what you do. So I'm going to show you with some really big needles and some really big yarn what it means when you knit the knits and purl the purls. Now you know that you're knitting the first stitch because it says knit purl, knit purl. So we're knitting the first stitch. And if you look at the next stitch, you see how it has the bar going across here? That's a purl that you worked from. So that's where you're going to need to do a purl. So you're going to purl that purl. And now this next stitch doesn't have that bar going across. That's a knit stitch. That's what a knit stitch looks like after you work it. So we're going to knit that stitch. And now the next stitch has the bar across it, so that's a purl. So we're going to purl the purl. We're going to knit the knit. And then we purl the purl. So the stitches that look like they have a bar going across, those are your purl stitches. And the stitches that don't have the bar going across are your knit stitches. So as you go around with your knitting, you'll see where those little bars are, and you'll know that you need to purl those bars, and you'll knit the stitches that don't have a bar. So hopefully that helps you a little bit to see that. And after you do that, you're creating a ribbed fabric. It's easier to see a ribbed fabric if you look at like the top of a sock. You see this stretchy part? That's ribbing there. And then when you get to this part of the sock, it's stockinette. It's just nice and smooth. So up here's your ribbing, and down here's your flat stockinette fabric. So what we're making now with our yoga socks is the ribbing at the top. And like I said, you'll be knitting the knits and purling the purls. And it's hard to tell if you have a dark yarn, and it's really hard for me to show you with this tiny yarn and tiny needles. So that's why I got those bigger needles to show you that. So just keep knitting your knits and purling your purls for those 10 rows of ribbing. Now you understand what that means, right? So I'll see you in the next video. In the next video we're going to be starting the next section after the ribbing. So see you soon. Bye.